Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, March 2nd, is National Old Stuff Day. So if you like old stuff.
Like crackers.
Yeah, like any kind of old stuff. That's a scene from a movie that she's talking about. Also, National Banana Cream Pie Day. Ooh.
I love banana
Sunday,
cream pie.
March the 3rd, National Anthem Day, National I Want You to Be Happy Day, National Cold Cuts Day, National Mulled Wine Day. What is mulled wine, do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, I wonder if it's any good. It's also Soup It Forward Day Sunday and Finishers Medal Day.
Soup it forward?
Yeah, it's like pay it forward but give people soup.
Okay.
Apparently. Also got a great guest joining us this weekend, Ocean Robbins. He's the son of John Robbins. He's the author of a book called The Diet for a New America, and he's also the grandson of Irvin Robbins, the founder of Baskin-Robbins. The thing that's really interesting, his dad, this gentleman we're going to talk to, his dad made the decision to leave the family business and the family money and promote a healthy lifestyle. And then now he's followed in his dad's footsteps with a new book, 31-Day Food Revolution. Excited to chat with Ocean Robbins on the weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, a British survey found that 1 in 4 teenage suicides involve the use of the internet. So it's people...
Yeah, getting picked on,
getting bullied
online,
and, social media,
yeah,
and not just social media, all kinds of things on the internet. So be nice to one another. I think it's just really, really sad. And it's not just kids. This is talking about teenagers. I see adults that are acting like children all the time. Be nice to one another. Think about it this way. Right before you click send, say, would I say this to that person?
And the same thing applies online as it does in person. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it.
Yeah, and would I say this to this person in person? Probably not. Then don't say that. It's today's surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net. And this is your brain on drugs. Police in Ohio's capital city say a man stole a police cruiser just minutes after they revived him from an overdose.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Columbus police searching for a 25-year-old man who crashed a cruiser and then ran away. It says here, officers responded to a home and they were called about an overdose. They revived the man. They put him in an ambulance. Meanwhile, they were checking whether he had any outstanding warrants. That's when the man ran out of the ambulance, stole a police cruiser, and crashed it a few kilometers away or a few miles away.
So he probably did have outstanding warrants.
Apparently. What in the world happened there? So he had an overdose and was in a coma or whatever it was. He was out. He was completely. They revived him, and he repaid them by stealing their car.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. It's a bad idea. But it's the kind of thing that happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Emma Thompson announced this week that she is leaving the animated comedy Luck. First of all, let's pause for a second. Have you ever seen this animated comedy Luck?
No.
Nor have I. I wonder if it's good. I hope it's good, but I'm sad that she's leaving. Let's find out why. She's leaving as a result of the studio, Skydance Animation. They recently hired John Lasseter. Does that name sound familiar?
No.
He used to work for Pixar and Disney.
Okay.
He was let go in response to accusations of sexual harassment toward female colleagues. So he was out of a job, and this company said, hey, you know what? We could use you. So they hired him, and that's when Emma Thompson said, I'm not interested in staying then. So she decided she's no longer going to be the voice of a character in Luck.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. You know what? To each
Unless
their own.
she was the one who had been, I just don't understand that sort of.
I can see where she would be saying, hey, this guy was fired for doing something terrible to females. Now you guys hired him? Really? So I understand that. I've got a link to that in the show notes if you want to read all about it. It's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patti Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now your scoop of the day. I have fewer stories today, but more details. Scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. We're going to start with this one. Quite a few here. Quite a few details. Authorities in Oklahoma say a man stole a Pepsi truck as the driver was unloading Pepsi. Tulsa police say nobody was hurt. The driver jumped out of the back of the truck when he felt his truck rolling away, and there was a trail of soda spilling all over the place. Steve Hart, police officers, say Steve Hart told them that he was trying to get to the airport after an argument with his girlfriend, so he stole the Pepsi truck.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. They stopped him in traffic. He did not get to the airport. He did jump out and started to run. Hart was arrested as the rig rolled back into a school bus.
Oh, my gosh.
Children were aboard. Hart is being held on charges of larceny and attempted escape from the county jail as he was being booked into custody. So,
way to make a bad day even worse.
No kidding. So you had a bad day, you steal a Pepsi truck? You don't think anyone's going to notice that one, by the way?
Yeah, bad idea.
I'm not saying you should have stole anything, but anything would have been less conspicuous than that.
Not the school bus.
Yeah, well, that's true. At least he didn't steal a school bus, yeah. Way to look on the bright side, Heidi. Another story here. A federal judge in Houston ruled that military draft applies only to men is now unconstitutional.
Agreed.
That happened this week. Judge Gray H. Miller, Federal District Court, Southwestern District of Texas, said excluding women is no longer justified because they can now serve in combat roles just as much as men.
Absolutely.
The draft, by the way, has existed. It has not existed, rather, in the U.S. for more than 40 years, but all men must register when they turn 18 in case a draft would be reinstated. Yep. I remember doing that. What is it called? Selective service?
Yeah, Troy, I remember our son having to register, and I think it's only fair. Absolutely. Both sexes should be registering.
Another story here. 71-year-old California man who was wrongfully convicted for killing an ex-girlfriend and her 4-year-old son back in 1978. He's reached a $21 million settlement with the city of Simi Valley. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, spent 39 years behind bars. He was pardoned in 2017 by California's then-Governor Jerry Brown based on DNA evidence found by investigators that proved that he did not do this. So he spent 39 years in prison. He's now 71 years old. He recently won a settlement of $21 million. So, but would you take $21 million for 39 years of your life?
No.
I mean, I don't know if that's fair, if that's not fair.
That is absolutely not fair.
Nothing
but what else can you do? I mean, you might as well take the money, because what else can he do? He can't reverse that time. So he's 71 years old now, and at least he'll be able to spend his remaining years, hopefully not having money problems. But wow, think about the prime I read
of his
that.
life
That is just horrible.
One last story here. A Florida community was rattled Monday after spotting a man traveling around downtown Jacksonville with a large venomous snake on his arm. So, several locals reported this unusual, admittingly frightening sighting to the police. They went and they checked on this gentleman to see what was going on. The officers asked the man. He asked not to be named, by the way. They said, "What is going on here?" And he carefully placed the reptile in the back of a patrol car, waited for wildlife officials. He says that he found it and God compelled him to keep this safe from traffic. So he was just carrying it around. That's kind of bizarre. It wasn't like his pet. It was just a wild snake. Handlers from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission arrived, removed the snake from the vehicle, and relocated him to a nearby wooded area. Nobody was injured in the process. So I'm all about, taking care of the critters around us, too. I wouldn't want to see the snake get hurt.
I wouldn't pick up a snake.
But I was going to say, I think I would not pick him up and wander around the downtown
Especially
area.
if you don't know for sure,
and
what you're dealing with
snake.
there. Yeah, but
so
I mean, even if you didn't
fortunate.
know that, most people don't know offhand whether a snake is is venomous or not. You don't pick it up and just go walking around with it.
Very bizarre. I've got a link to that in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Our guest today is Ocean Robbins, and it's really cool. He's got a new book out called The 31-Day Food Revolution, Heal Your Body, Feel Great, and Transform Your World. Now, Ocean, I think we need to certainly talk about the fact that you guys had the opportunity to live a whole different lifestyle, but your father, his dad, had started a company that everybody listening has probably heard of, Baskin-Robbins, and then your dad kind of went off on his own and did his own thing, writing the book Diet for a New America, and then you've kind of followed in your dad's footsteps rather than your grandfather's footsteps. That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. You know, some things in life are more important even than money, and my dad chose a path for his integrity. You know, he grew up with an ice cream cone-shaped swimming pool in the backyard, and he was groomed from early childhood to one day join in running the family company. But when he was offered that chance, he took a look around. His uncle, Bert Baskin, was dying of heart disease at the age of 54. And my dad said, hey, I don't want to spend my life selling a product that might make more people sick.
Yeah.
So he followed his own rocky road, as we say in our family.
Hey, there you
Ended up investigating the food industry and writing a book that inspired millions, including my grandpa, Irvin Robbins, who ended up reading the book, following its advice, and crediting it with saving his life.
That's awesome.
So we have seen in our family that, you know, when we follow the standard American diet, we get the standard American diseases.
Yeah.
But when we make a change, we can get real results.
Diet makes a huge difference, and what you put into your body makes all the difference in the world. And your new book, 31-Day Food Revolution, first of all, when I saw it, I thought, well, that's kind of cool, because Baskin-Robbins, you know, the 31 flavors, and you have the 31-day. I was like, that's kind of cool that's even tied together. Was that on purpose or just kind of a happy little accident?
No, it was very on purpose. I'm saying that in the long run, 31 steps to health can bring you more satisfaction and more pleasure even than 31 flavors of ice cream.
Absolutely.
And every single chapter, there's 31 chapters in this book. Every one ends with action steps you can take to get results. Because at the end of the day, cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's, they don't care a heck of a lot how many books you read, how many radio shows you listen to, or how much you know. They care what you eat and how you live. So This book is all about getting you results.
And the nice thing to know is this is not really a diet, but it's more of a lifestyle, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You know, at the end of the day, it's your habits that shape your destiny. And I want to help you set yourself up for success so that your path of least resistance, like gravity, pulls you on a fast track to optimal health. You know, in a toxic food culture, it feels like you have to swim upstream sometimes just to do the right thing for your body. We're surrounded by fast food and junk food and added sugars and processed stuff all around us. And I am showing how you can set yourself up to succeed so that you don't have to be a victim of the status quo. And you can uplift your health, your vitality, your joy, and your pleasure, as well as your family and your loved ones in the process.
I've got a copy of the book right here, 31-Day Food Revolution, Heal Your Body, Feel Great, and Transform Your World. It's available right now. It's amazing to me how simple and easy it is. I like that you have it broken down into basically like if I read a chapter a day, I'd be done with this book in a month. And I got a feeling most people that are reading this probably couldn't do a chapter a day. They would do it way quicker than that because it's pretty easy to read.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's not fun to read, then what's the point, right? No one's going to do it. So I think that, you know, we have this myth that healthy eating is for people who are somehow ascetic. You've got to give up pleasure. You've got to struggle, and frankly, you've got to break the bank. And I'm here to break all that down so that you can have more pleasure, more ease, and frankly, save money doing the right thing for your body. My goal is to help you love foods that love you back.
That's
so
awesome.
that you can set yourself up for success, and that's really what this is all about. And yeah, it's full of stories. You know, I direct Food Revolution Network. We have 500,000 members. I've worked with leaders in over 65 countries in person in the last 25 years. So the book is full of stories from my life and from our community. This is real-world stuff. It actually works. It's not just some theory.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at pages and pages and pages of people who've read this book and are just praising it. And it's not just anybody. There's some major names on here, like a guy by the name of Paul McCartney, one of the Beatles.
You heard of that guy?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Another guy by the name of Tony Robbins, New York Times #1 best-selling author and guy that's known for being amazing on his own. Now, with the last name Robbins and his last name Robbins, any relation there or not quite?
Not that we've been able to identify.
Well, it's certainly cool that he's a big fan of what you're doing and all of these others. Like I said, as I flip through this page, it's kind of a who's who, a lot of really good people to be on your side saying that, hey, what this dude says is really smart. So, again, that's very cool. Congratulations on your early success on this.
Thank you so much. I wrote this book to put the power in your hands where it belongs, because we can't be a victim of the status quo. So it's time to take charge of our food lives, and that's what 31-Day Food Revolution helps you to do.
Well, again, our guest today, Ocean Robbins. Ocean, thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Again, Ocean Robbins, and his book is 31-Day Food Revolution, Heal Your Body, Feel Great, and Transform Your World. It's available right now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
High heels were originally designed for men. Yeah. Nowadays,
I had read this.
Though closely identified as a female fashion symbol, high heels were first first designed for men. At the end of the 16th century, Persian-inspired style was all the rage in Europe, and the heels were seen as being virile and masculine. It says here it was a great way to boost your height a few inches. So I could see that.
I would love to see men go back to wearing heels so they understand.
I can tell you this. I actually wore high heels for an event that we were a part of, and I would never, ever, 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 ever want to do that again. It was not comfortable. And ladies, nobody appreciates them nearly enough for you to be in that kind of pain. Maybe if yours fit better, they don't hurt as much. Mine did not feel good at all. This is today's fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patty Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Omphalophobia. I probably said that wrong. O-M-P-H-A-L-O phobia. Omphalophobia. Omphalophobia.
I have no clue.
It's the fear of the navel. So, yeah.
Okay.
How could you be afraid of that? What would be so scary about your navel?
I don't know.
I don't know. Bizarre thing. It's today's fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the Weird Gift of the Day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Georgia McDonald's customer was arrested for disorderly conduct last week when she flew into a rage over her apple pie not being ready soon enough.
Of course.
Yeah. Anna Luisa Guilty Balzar went to a Georgia McDonald's for a sweet treat. She ordered it. She was told it's going to take about 5 minutes. According to the television station that covered this, she was expecting to receive her snack for free because of the wait. When they informed her, no, you're still going to have to pay for it, that's when she got aggressive. An officer said she started screaming, using profanity at the employees, aggressively walking towards her and punching her fist into her hand. Police say that they were called by the fast food location. They arrested the customer for disorderly conduct.
Well, I would hope so. What do they run? 50 cents, a buck? You're going to go to jail for that?
You got to wait. I'm sorry, we're cooking them. You're going to have to wait 5 minutes. Okay, then I get it free, right? No, we have to cook all of our food, so...
Wow.
Why would it be free? Her citation, by the way, she got a fine of $837.
Good.
And maybe if there were more big fines like that for doing these dumb things, maybe fewer people would do these. Because we have so many stories lately.
I know.
It's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And it's definitely today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A man is being sued by a Chinese airline after throwing coins into the engine of the airplane for good luck.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. A perpetrator by the name of Lu, L-U, admitted to tossing coins in the Lucky Air airline, the engine, when the Lucky Air staff questioned him. They noticed a bunch of coins on the ground right under the engine. And they thought, well, we better find out what's going on. So they grounded the flight because of safety concerns. The 162 passengers were flown the next day after they had a full engine check. The budget carrier claims this cancellation cost them about 16,000 pounds or 140,000 yen. I don't know what that is in U.S. dollars, but it was expensive. They announced the legal action they would take against Lou, this 28-year-old man. He said he threw the coins while boarding as he thought it would bring good luck. Well, he was wrong. Says he was taken into custody and detained for 7 days. So don't do that. Bad idea. Today's moment of duh. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Now, these 3 things. Heidi, are you ready for a fun program today?
Yes.
All right. These 3 things. What do these 3 things have in common? Japan, Ireland, Cuba. What do they all have in common? Any ideas?
I think they're all islands.
You are correct. They're all island nations. Japan, Ireland, Cuba. All island nations. That's what these 3 things have in common.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of 80sinthedesert.rocks. This event, by the way, is coming up 2 months from now. It is it is May 3rd and 4th. May 3rd and 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada. All of the details at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Promo code radio.
It's going to be a great time.
I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to be there. It's going to be fun. World's first water-free system dyes fabrics with CO2. This could save trillions of gallons of water every year.
Oh, cool.
So this is a neat idea. Rather than allowing the fashion industry to continue wasting trillions of gallons of water every year, a Dutch company is giving clothing companies a new makeover. It's called Dyeco, D-Y-E-C-O-O.
Okay.
They're based in the Netherlands. They use CO2 to dye fabrics instead of using water. According to a recent sustainability report, it can take anywhere from 25 to 40 gallons of water to dye 2 pounds of fabric. Collectively, the textile industry uses almost 25 trillion gallons of water every single year. Dyeco, on the other hand, uses a machine that dyes fabrics with pressurized CO2, which allows the dyes to quickly dissolve and penetrate the textiles, all with the use of water without the use of water or chemicals.
That is amazing.
Every machine is estimated to save 8.4 million gallons of water,
Holy cow.
about 126 tons of processing chemicals, and untold amounts of energy every single year. So the thing that's cool is this is a system that is just a really smart system. And there's a lot of companies that are already lining up to be a part of this and to help. It says the machine
would assume so.
Uses a closed-loop system. 95% of their CO2 can even be cleaned and recycled after every dye cycle as well.
That is crazy.
I know. I think it's a cool idea. It's today's good news because I think it's a darn cool thing. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.